Geopolitics. Geopolitics can be defined as to how countries attempt to achieve their political, military, economic, as well as technological goals through strategic geographical factors. Definitely for geopolitics, international dimension is there. Father of geopolitics, Sir Harold John Mackinder, said that in geopolitics, geostrategy is so vital, but that is in the contemporary world. But a closer scrutiny of geopolitics would reveal that even before Christ's era, Romans were trying to expand their empire going across the world. And also during medieval era, we can see how Britishers were trying to expand their empire across the world by virtually controlling 1/3 of the world. So geopolitics will give you immense potential for bigger nations, commonly known as superpowers, to further strengthen and to expand their dominance across the world. So if you really see strategic location, geographic aspects, availability of resources, as well as sound economic policies become crucial ingredients for geopolitics. And if you see in the recent past, the Ukrainian issue, Ukraine was one of the states of former USSR, like Belarus, Ukraine, Georgia. They were states of former USSR. But during the mid-90s, they became independent states. But Ukraine is so vital for Russia because, as you remember, Chernobyl disaster in Ukraine is a classic example. So Ukraine is so crucial for Russia. But at the same time, after becoming an independent state, Ukraine was moving towards the West. Though West agreed through the Budapest Agreement that Ukraine and the former Soviet states will not be given NATO membership, Ukraine moved towards that to gain the EU membership as well as the NATO membership. So Russia didn't like this. And as a result, in February 2014, Russia annexed Crimea, keeping the first step towards the Ukraine war. And then, because Russia did not want to see that NATO coming and planting missiles closer to the Russian border in Ukraine, targeting Russia. Obviously, being a superpower, it creates so much of threat for Russia. So then Russia gave so many warnings, but West was not, willing to listen to Russian warnings. And as a result, in February 2022, Russia invaded Ukraine. So you can see, my dear friends, so this is how superpowers try to control their domain, expand their dominance further, as well as also even to go up to the level of conducting war in other nations in order to secure their position, secure their dominance, as well as their superiority in the global arena. If you take another simple example about India, Sri Lanka is so vital for India. Sri Lanka is located in the world map at a strategic location. So this strategic location is so vital for superpowers. And at an era where India is also becoming an economic force to be reckoned with, and simultaneously when India is also basically surrounded by Pakistan, then Burma, Bangladesh, as well as China. So India doesn't want to see that Sri Lanka becoming some kind of a military camp or another state of China. So you can see how geopolitics also working in the South Asian region, especially with India. Also another area that is emerging in geopolitics is some paradoxes. Did you ever imagine that Saudi will shake hands with Iran? Did you ever imagine even in your deepest dreams? But it has happened. So in geopolitics, you have to expect the unexpected. How do you navigate as a small nation? How do you navigate this geopolitics from the Sri Lankan perspective? Best policy of, my view is that we have to be a member of the non-aligned movement, or we have to follow the policy of being a non-aligned state without getting affiliated to superpowers. But at the same time, to do that, we have to be economically sound. When we are economically not so good, we don't have the bargaining power. So as a result, sometimes we have to adhere to various certain conditions. So this is how geopolitics work across the world. Thank you.